Christina here with EEM and Hope, although her name says Christina too. I just noticed that. Hey, we're on time tonight, so we're happy. Uh-oh, and then we have a kiddo coming here. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm going to mute myself, Hope, if you want to introduce our wonderful guest this evening.
Okay, tonight we are here with Aaron Montgomery of our Success Group. And we're just really excited. We're excited for him to be at the show with us. And we're here to talk about the classes a little bit and kind of what he does. So Aaron, take it away.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I am excited to be here, and I'm excited to be part of Everything Embroidery Market. This is my first time, and so I am super excited to get to meet new people and just see what Everything Embroidery Market's all about. I think that the community opportunity like this is so cool to get a chance to just to get to know people face to face and have that opportunity to say, hey, what's going on with you? How do you do this? All of these really fun things that come around with events like what you guys are doing here, and the time that I've been able to spend kind of getting into your community, making comments on posts and things like that. Man, I can just feel the excitement, right? I'm like, there we go. Jan says it. I'm excited too. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do is just share my excitement and talk a little bit about the classes, because I don't know if it's necessarily different than what's maybe happened in the past. And I'll lean on you guys for that. But with our Success Group, we want to take a little different kind of look at things than you might traditionally from a business standpoint. We like to sprinkle a lot of mindset stuff in there, because we do truly believe that most businesses have the resources and the tools that they need. They just need to be able to access them by pushing themselves outside of their comfort zone a little bit, which is the mindset part. So we kind of try to have a nice balance between sharing information about business and also sharing information that we need to, just have the right mindset to be successful. So that's me.
Yeah. And having the right mindset is the biggest part, I think. I mean, yes, you have your ideas, but if you don't have the right mindset to keep it moving forward, then, you're kind of stuck.
Exactly.
Yes. And for those of you who haven't listened to our podcast, we had Aaron on several months back, and we got to know him a little bit more as far as his background. He's been in the industry for a while now and kind of transferred into the business coaching aspect a little bit more recently. But you guys, I'm so pumped for his classes. When we had our last show in Biloxi, that was one we try to listen to our customers, right? I think it's very important to hear what our attendees want, what they have to say, and follow them. I mean, essentially, we want to offer you guys what you want. And that was something that we heard a lot at the last show. We did have some business classes there, but I think with the pandemic and everything, there were a lot of new businesses that were just getting started, and then older businesses that were feeling like they needed to pivot, and they wanted to come to this trade show and be around people that know the industry, but also can grow a successful business out of it, or become more successful. And so that is where we found Aaron Montgomery. We are so when we had conversations, actually, he was recommended to us by another vendor. You've done lots of different trade shows in your past and currently, and this niche, and he's going to bring, him and his wife, Kylene, are going to bring a tremendous amount of knowledge that you're going to take away and then give you actionable steps to take in your business, and grow it. So it's a super exciting thing that, like I said, we didn't offer this in depth in the past. Yeah. So I want to just start with talking about your first class, because you're teaching several, you and your wife. So let's talk about keys to successful business planning. What is that all about?
Yeah. You talk about business planning. Let's get really excited. How oh my God, people are probably like, do I bring a pillow to this? How does that work? Here's the reality of it. Business planning is one of those things that if you embrace it in the way that I like to embrace it, this can be super, super valuable, but also super exciting. Right? Everybody thinks business planning, I have to write out all this stuff. It's like doing my college thesis or homework or something like that. But the reality is your business plan is you creating what you want from your business, out of your business, what you want your business to be in your mind first, putting it down on paper. So that translation from my thoughts to writing on paper, typing on paper, whatever, that's where the rubber hits the road. And so you can make all the mistakes you want. You can dream big. We can get excited about stuff. We can figure out. So I found that there are 5 key elements inside of a good business plan. And again, when I talk about planning, I want people to get excited about that. This is the opportunity to be anything you want, right? It's like writing your resume. You're only perfect twice in your life, when you were born and when you write your resume. Well, the same can be said for your business plan, right? Your business is only perfect once, and that's when you're writing your business plan, because it's exactly what you want it to be. And it gives you that direction, that guiding light. And so I guess I believe it's kind of my job to change the PR around what a business plan means. It's not this stuffy coffee table, take it to a bank kind of thing. It could, right? And we do want to get into some numbers, and we want to have a little bit of that information, but it's really about, why am I doing this? Why am I starting this business instead of just going and getting a job, right? What's the deep meaning for why we're starting it? Who are the people that I need to surround myself with to be part of it? And then just getting into planning it, setting goals, and different things like that. So my hope for that class is people take away a passion for business planning. Maybe not at the level that I'm at. I'm just a business planning geek, but that's okay. At that level that it allows them to have that nice foundation, because things are going to happen in your business all the time. You guys know this, right? Not every day is exactly perfect, right? And maybe it is for you guys, and I want to get, but, but no.
I'll stop you right there. No.
The reality is,
there's a lot of bobbing and weaving.
Yeah, exactly. But the bobbing and weaving can be made so much easier if we have at least that guiding light. We have that direction. We have that business plan. So that's why I love presenting that. Like I said, I think most people read that and they go, "Oh my God, let's bring a pillow and take a nap for an hour." But I think if we do this right, this can actually be one of the most exciting times in your business.
Well, and so when we were looking at what classes that you guys could offer, one of the reasons I thought this would be a good fit was, when I first think, at least when I would think of a business plan, this was me putting on paper something so that a bank would loan me money. Essentially that's it. And then you never look at it again. But after reading your description and now talking to you some, I realized that it's not just that. Yes, you can use it for that, like you said, but it can also be a mid-business time where you sit, reflect on what you've done in the past, and look at where you want to move in the future. Yep. It's not just a business plan that you just throw away, right? It is your plan moving forward. And you have the ability, and you should change it as your business grows, because we all know it does.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think a business plan is something that is the heart of a business, right? It is that working document. It's you should look at it on a regular basis. You should adjust, you should go back and say what worked, what didn't work, and all that other stuff. And for me, I found that if I just start putting all this into one central location, one central document, because my business plan will evolve over time to include, policies and procedures, operations plans, all of that stuff. But if I get it into one place where everybody involved in the business, whether that's me or whether I have people around, or, vendors, whatever, if that's kind of like the go-to place for information about your business, it also becomes really valuable, because then you don't have to recreate the wheel every time you want to change something in your business. You're just tweaking. You've already got the backbone there, and like, oh, okay, well, that didn't work exactly as I thought, but you know what? We have this guiding light where we're going to head. So all we got to do is just go back and so, yeah, it is a total working document. And honestly, how yours looks for you. I mean, some people it is just a scribbled kind of handwritten thing. I think it's a lot easier to put it into some sort of a word processing document so you can kind of keep up with it as you grow, because that's the other part about this too. We might start this on our own, but I think most business owners do want to grow into something a little bit more. And if you have this already done, I mean, you're so much further ahead than, oh gosh, I've got to now hire a part-time person to help me out here, and I have to figure out how to train this person. But if you've been, working this document throughout the course of your business, all you're doing is saying, here, just read this section. Let me know what questions you have. Let's work on this together. And then you go from there. So,
yes. If you have followed us at any point in time recently, Hope and I's, I guess, word for the year was organization. And that having it written down makes a world of difference. I can tell you that. Just that's all I got to say. It makes a world
nice
of difference
to be able to go back and be like, nope, this was said, or not having to check in with another person because it's written down.
Yeah.
Just
and I will be giving people a template for a business plan too that has all what they need, so you can just kind of start from that and use that with, again, not having to recreate the wheel every time. So
yes. Okay, so let's move into class number 2. So the next one I have here is 3 pricing strategies to avoid and what to do instead. So tell me a little bit about that one.
I think I said this in one of the comments on Facebook. Sometimes I get a little overly creative with the titles, just trying to be fun and funny, and my humor hardly hits with most people, so that's okay. Nobody's showing up for my comedy show. I know that. So so I've discovered, so you mentioned I've been doing this for a little bit. I started when I was 5 and have been doing this for 20 years, right? No, I'm just kidding. I have been doing it for 22 years, but I did not start when I was 5. So we'll figure out the math later on. But the things that I've seen most often, as you said, more recently getting into business coaching, I've been involved with helping people kind of get their businesses off the ground. I was always in the mode of like helping people find the right equipment, supplies, stuff like that. So I've always been on that side of the aisle, helping them. And what I discovered was people really struggle with pricing. First and foremost, it's a scary thing. You have to put yourself out there, right? So if I am selling something and it's too high and somebody doesn't like it, that's a personal attack on me, I feel like, right? And the reality is that's not true, but that's the way we think about it. But then on the other side of it, we don't price our stuff high enough, and then we work our tails off and we end up with no money, or going out of business, the worst case scenario. And again, it all boils back down to the pricing. And so what people have tried to do is try to oversimplify it. Okay, so somebody that's been doing this a long time, just give me the magic formula. What's the magic bullet? So embroidery, I hear the $1 per 1,000 stitch. I actually heard somebody using 25 cents per 1,000 stitches the other day. I was like, oof, ouch. That hurts a little bit. Right? And again, these are all fine as far as like a starting point or some way to kind of understand things. We hear a lot on the sublimation side or some of the other sides of things, 3x your cost. And so we're going to get into what those things are that I've heard. And I just want to give people a different perspective. Right. Like I said, I have no problem with those being a starting point, maybe, just something to think about. But if that's the way you price your products, that's your strategy, you're potentially putting yourself in a lot of danger. You're either overpricing your stuff to a point where you're losing business that you should be winning, or you're underpricing your stuff to a point where it doesn't matter how many jobs you take on, you're going to be in the hole at the end of the year. So right. That's what I want to talk about. We get into that part in the first half of it, just kind of dispelling some of those myths. And I show you exactly why. I have examples from people inside of our success group that have helped me kind of go, okay, I want real business, real information here. And, but then we get through that as quickly as we can, because the last part is what I really want to share. Like, here's what you want to do. Here's how we do it. And I give you some ideas, I give you a formula, and then we talk about what I think is the best method, which, I won't give away all the secrets, but
gotta take the class.
That's right. You got to come and take the class to get all of the secret sauce. But at the end of the day, the right price for you is the price that your customers are willing to pay, that is also equal to the amount of money that you need to make for your business to be successful. So we figure out how to find that happy medium, and it's called perceived value, and then we go from there. So same with the business planning one. There'll be some tools and templates, and even an opportunity to have. This might scare people, but yes, I love spreadsheets as well as business planning. So there will be a spreadsheet that you can use that I've used to price products. So I've priced products for lots of different companies, and I've learned a lot. And one of the other fun parts is most of those 3 things that I say to avoid are actually things that I've done too. So I'm coming from experience, right? I learned my lesson the hard way. And so I'm hoping to keep people from learning that same hard way lesson.
Well, that's what makes you an expert.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. I just failed more times than anybody else at this yet. So that's how I get to do the talk.
Yeah. And I think that pricing is a really hot topic right now. I've seen it in multiple groups, our group included, where people are, there's pricing is going up across the board, all over the place. And if you can find a way to incorporate what you learn in this class, you're going to walk away a stronger business. Yeah. There is going to be increases. There is going to be trouble. I guess again, it comes down to mindset. People see an increase in their cost, and then they are afraid to pass that along, and then they eat it, and then their business goes down quickly, right? And so I think this class will teach you how to take that information, take your new costs, take your time, and then deliver that in a package to your customers. And at the end of the day, you're both happy, and you know that you got a good, quality, the right price. My brain's not looking for the words. I'm trying to think, but
you're exactly right. And like I said, that's the real bullet there. That's the real magic of the whole thing, is finding that price that's going to work for your ideal customers, and then marrying that up with how much you need to make based on your costs and some other things like that. And then figure out how to move that needle, right? Yeah, you've got to raise prices. Costs are going up. The inflation is massive. I heard something in the screen printing world the other day that costs have gone up an average of like 42% in some areas. And so how do you deal with that, right? But if you don't have a good pricing strategy, if you're just using this 3X pricing or the dollar per thousand stitch pricing strategy as your only strategy, you're really putting your business in danger. And you've worked way too hard to put yourself in that space. So let's figure out the right way to solve that issue.
Yes. And Dean said pricing is insane, but it's not just the product itself. There's shipping and other aspects. And I think a lot of people, myself included, when I started LTC, was I didn't incorporate everything from the tariffs and the shipping and all of that. I just heard product cost. And you have to think about all those different aspects.
Yep. I've done that too. So you're in the same boat.
Yes. Okay. So now why don't we talk about the class that Kylene's teaching on her own? So this one is Work-Life Balance, Myth, Dream, or Possibility.
Well, I don't want to do too much of a spoiler alert here, but at the end, the ultimate is it's definitely a possibility. It's not a myth, but it does take some intentionality, right? So I'm here, she's not, right? So she's in her cycle of got to put our kid to bed and that kind of thing. So this I can't wait, honestly, to get to be in the back of this classroom, and I obviously learn from her all the time, but I know that I'm going to take something out of that's going to help me, because she has this crazy ability to just be like level, like balance, and it's not an easy juggling act, right? It might look like it from the outside looking in, but there's real strategies that she puts to good use. And those real strategies are things that she's going to pass along to you. It's finding what's important. Talking about time management, one of the things I love to talk about with time management is that when you think you have a time management problem, what you actually have is a priority management problem. And she's really figured that out. And then, taking a look at how we show up to different things and what that feels like from both ends, right? And where that comes from. So taking care of yourself, doing things like that. So, we live in this culture of, if you're not busier than the person next to you, you're not working hard enough. And so we all have to like grind ourselves to death. And boy, I don't think I want to be in business if my whole deal is just to grind myself to death. I could go get a job and then take weekends off, right? So you have to find that balance. And Kylene's done a really great job with this. And I can't wait to hear her share these strategies that she uses to kind of get there and to take control of that space herself and make it a reality, not a myth. So.
Yes. And I think that, at least for me personally, that is my goal in business, to have a successful business for my family. My family is my why, I guess. And if I cannot spend time with my family, it almost feels like it's for nothing. And there is a way to be able to do both well if you are intentional and have the right mindset, right?
Exactly. And you hit it exactly on the head. If you have the right mindset, because I think the other myth that sometimes people run into with that is, to have work-life balance means I have to work, this amount of hours during the day, and then I have to do this much family time, and then everything in our worlds are actually a cycle. So there might be some times where you got to work a little bit harder and focus on the business a little bit, but then you have to be able to, manage how that happens with the family. And then there's other times where, business is a little bit easier and you can spend a little bit more time with the family. So it's figuring that stuff out. And then, like you said, using the proper mindset to be just good with that, right? To be balanced, to feel that and feel that sense of like, this is what it's all about. So,
but really, if you went to all 3 of the classes, you would learn your business plan and all of your strategies and stuff to help you find that work-life balance, prioritize it so things are organized so that you can take the step back if you need to. And, I do believe that everything ebbs and flows and there's cycles and, all of it kind of, it goes together, but trying to find the balance I find it extremely hard as a mom. And, I can hear my kids screaming off the other side of the door. But it's daddy's night tonight.
But the thing I love about you guys, though, is you guys do this with such grace and such ability and such passion for what you do that, kids screaming outside the door, that's okay, right? That's who you are. And that's part of you, right? I mean, I am so blessed that, Kylene does what she does and allows me to live my passion, but that's how we find our balance. It's not that we both have to be 50-50 in everything that goes on in our worlds. It's, I live to my strengths. She lives to her strengths. We come together and figure out how to fix the stuff in the middle. And it's pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So what Hope was saying brings us to class number 4.
Okay.
So class number 4 is business owner's mindset. Believe it's possible, overcome fear, and take action. So this one's actually taught by you and Kylene at the same time. I feel like that one would be really interesting because you will wrap up some of these things in-house, kind of show how they work together.
Yes. This is going to be a lot of mindset. And the reason for this, so I am super excited about this class in particular. All of them are passion topics of mine. Hopefully that's showing up in what I'm saying here tonight. I could talk about this stuff for hours and hours on end, but this piece here is kind of, in a sense, how we look at what we do with our business, with our success group. We believe fully and truly that every business owner has got a passion, right? They've got at least a little bit of passion for what it is that they're doing, or they wouldn't have shown up to begin with. They wouldn't even have started a business. And so we think that if you have the right mindset, that allows you to to fan the flame of your passion and allow it to grow a little bit. And then when we start taking actions, we start building momentum. And that momentum is kind of like the oxygen blowing on the flame. But then when we also do things where we're building, right, we're growing our businesses, that's adding more fuel, and then things start moving a little bit easier because you have got more momentum. And so we know if we put all these things together, we push ourselves a little outside of our comfort zone to conquer our fears, and then we start taking action and just making actions that are moving us forward and allowing us to thrive, that a business can be such an amazing part of our lives. Because at the end of the day, most people, I know I did this at least, I think a lot of people do this also. We originally think, okay, we've got our business life, we've got our family life, we've got our friends, our spirituality, whatever. But the reality is, we're just one person, and that all that stuff fits in there together. So if we can figure out the right mindset to be thriving inside of our business, it just, like, everything else gets so much easier. Our lives are easier, our relationships are better, all that other stuff. And so with this class, that's what we hope for people to take away is what's the steps. So I'm a big action guy, and so that'll be my part of this class, is helping people get into action. It's one thing to come to the class, and I want everybody to come to the class and show up. But what I really want them to do is just to at least take one thing out of that class that they're going to actually implement, that they're going to actually do. Maybe it's the next Monday afterwards, maybe it's right away, whatever. And they're going to start taking action on it. And what'll happen is if they keep doing that consistently and persistently and showing up for themselves, it will drastically change their business and therefore their lives. And when we get to see them the next year or the next show, the next Everything Embroidery Market, the conversations are going to be that much more fun because they're going to be that much further ahead.
Yeah. And if they implement one thing this year, it becomes habit. Next year, they can implement something else, or next week or next month, or if they join you on our success group journey, I imagine that will turn into a snowball, and then you'll look back years later and say, wow, do you remember when that was so hard for me? I couldn't figure out, I felt like I was kind of at a stalemate, and I just took that one step. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. I think the challenge that most people face is that what we're talking about here at its core is actually extremely simple. So I don't want to kind of belittle what it is people are going to be getting out of this, but the actual action steps are very simple. It's the fact that they are so simple and that they, don't create like immediate instant gratification. There's no such thing as instant gratification. It just is not possible for true success to be instant. Everybody that seems like an overnight success spent years and years and years getting to that point where they could all of a sudden show up on somebody's radar and become an overnight success. And so the same thing works at whatever level of business you're at, or whatever level of business you want to be at too. I mean, this is the other part that I have fallen in love with what we get to do with our success group and being able to share some of this stuff, is that if your goal is just to have a hobby and make some extra money to go on some more vacations with your family, these same strategies work for that. As somebody that's trying to become the next big thing, the next Google, the next whatever, the strategies are all exactly the same. It just at what level you're willing to push yourself. So it's super cool. And honestly, the excitement to be able to do that and get, I don't know, we kind of joke that, as you can tell, I'm the preacher and my wife's kind of the teacher. So she's going to help you along gently. And I'm going to stand up there and give you all the, the fire and brimstone. So
Sheets, like Lisa said. No.
that's right.
So I think it's very evident the passion that you have for helping people grow their business. And I'm just so excited that we found you, because you can marry that passion with the knowledge of our industry. I think that's huge. There's not a ton of people who have been able to do what you do. And I think that if people step foot in your class, they're going to walk away and say, holy moly. So one thing that Aaron's going to be doing, if you want to share what you'll be offering to everyone who takes or has a seat in your classes, if you want to offer or tell them what you'll be offering.
Yeah, absolutely. So, every single person who shows up in the class will get this opportunity. So we do once a month, we have a workshop that we do. It's over Zoom, and it's called Unlocking Your Potential. And what it is an opportunity to go back, figure out what stories you're telling yourself that's holding you back from where you want to go. And then the best part is we also give you the tools to then rewrite those stories. And when I first started learning about stuff like this, I was definitely very skeptical. In fact, it took me 2 years before I finally played full out in a similar situation workshop like this. And I was kicking myself after I finally played full out inside of a similar workshop, because it was like almost instant, like this weight lifted. I realized that there was a story that I was telling myself. So I'll just real quickly share what my story was. I went back to a time in my past, and I'll try to make it brief. I was at my church. I did the altar boy thing, and I was sitting back there. But then this particular weekend, I had an opportunity to do the reading at church, and I was supposed to read one of the Bible verses before the sermon. And I got up there, I read the Bible verse, and I'm looking up at people, and they all have these like blank looks on their face. And I was like, but I just kept going. And then I sit back down, and as the pastor starts his sermon, I finally realized that I read the wrong verse, and that horrified me for many, many, many years. And in fact, once I finally started playing full out, I was able to start doing some of the things. I had done some classes, but to be able to get to this level where I felt comfortable being able to share with people openly, and I knew that was what was holding me back, but I just didn't have a way to do it. And so I found this way to do it. My wife had a similar experience with some of the things that she's been able to do. So we said, you know what, we need to do this on the regular. And so once a month we do this Unlocking Your Potential workshop, and every single person that signs up for one of our classes will get to come to one of those. And like I said, we do it every month. We change the dates and times, so there's always a way for people to find it. If it's a weekend, maybe we do some weekdays, stuff like that. So any of the classes that we have coming up, you can sign up for one of those, come and attend for free. And the other thing that we do for people that do come to these workshops is they can come back as many times as they want thereafter for free. They want to work on something new. So we believe this is such a powerful tool for people to grow that we couldn't keep it bottled up. And so we wanted to share it. But for people that took the time to spend with us there in Chattanooga, we said, you know what, let's give it to them. That'll be cool. So there we go. That's what we're offering everybody.
And
That's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. It truly is incredible. So you go to a class hoping to learn something, walking away feeling motivated. You have action steps to take to go home and actually implement. And then you get home and you're like, oh, wait, I'm being held back by this.
Yeah.
And you have Aaron and Kylene in our success group. They've got your back now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Totally. That's exactly what it is. You explained it perfectly. Thank you.
And I want to go.
There you go.
Here we go. I feel like
yes.
I need to unlock
Absolutely, 100%. You guys are in. So sort
I
that
had a
out.
similar church experience, so maybe
Okay,
that's
good. Well,
why.
we can share stories. I can't wait.
But mine was at a wedding, and I was supposed to be reading it wasn't a passage, it was something else that I was reading, and they said it was going to be up there, and it wasn't. I'd only read it once, so then I just made stuff up.
That's a good one. Wow.
But you made it through. Both of you made it through the other side, right?
No
We
one knew
lived.
I made it up either. Like all the guests after were like, "What happened?" I was like, "What else? That was not what I was supposed to read."
Yeah. But we create stories around those things, and they're hard to let go.
I've been excited about Chattanooga, but hearing your passion, talking to other vendors that we have in the lineup. I mean, we've been there from the very inception of this, or inception, whatever the word is, from the very beginning of this show. And we've been just watching it grow, you guys. And what we want to bring you and what we plan to bring you is a bunch of people that have Aaron's passion and have knowledge that will help you, even if you don't have a business. So if you are just a crafter, you're a hobbyist, we have stuff, people, classes, vendors there for you that you will walk away, even if it's not changing your mindset about your business. Maybe it's changing your mindset about your hobby, right? Maybe you're afraid to try something new, and you'll walk away from the show excited about something that you learned, or a new fun toy that you're going to bring home and try for the first time.
Yeah, shopping. Come on.
Yes, so much shopping. You guys, everybody that is here, all of our vendors, all of our teachers have a passion to be in this industry, and we're excited to meet you and see you, and just hang out, for a really fun weekend. Hope I saw you just pull up the
I didn't mean to do that. I was seeing
go ahead, put it up there. Yes.
Yeah, let's get it up there.
there you go. Grab your tickets there.
Yeah, so if you're even remotely interested, check out EEMshows.com. You'll be able to see all of the classes that we have available. Sign up for Aaron and Kylene's classes. Sign up for as many as you want. Each class is an hour long. We have a 30-minute break in between, and then Lisa Shaw does have some hands-on workshops. There's, I think, only they may be sold out. I know one of them sold out. The other one, if it's not sold out, there's only 1 or 2 spots left last I looked. So if you're interested, grab that now. But you guys, you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. My passion is bringing to you guys what you want and making it better and better, the best that we can. And Hope feels the same way. We want to do whatever we can to lift you up and get you excited and give you all those tools in order to be successful. So I'm going to tell you our links, and then we'll have Aaron talk about how you can see him. So again, to sign up for classes, if you go to EEM Shows, if you want to pull up that deal. So EEM Shows, there's a buy tickets now link right at the top, and you can just fill your cart and come join us. It's going to be a fun time. Actually, I forgot to mention, on Thursday, we have an exclusive shopping only time to start off the weekend, where you will be able to shop with our wonderful vendors for a couple hours. There will be a cash bar. Just mingle, have fun, and then start the weekend off right. And then there are Friday and Saturday full of classes and shopping as well. So let's see, what else do we have? Aaron, if you want to tell us where everyone can find you.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to. Our website's probably the best there. Oursuccessgroup.com is the best place to find us. But really, I just want you guys to find us in Chattanooga. This opportunity to kind of do these live face-to-face classes are my very favorite. I love doing the virtual stuff too, but getting a chance to interact and you know, be there with people, that energy, getting to connect with people is incredible. So I am really looking forward to seeing everybody there. And yeah, I'm also looking forward to meet new people. I don't know all of your vendors and your teachers and stuff like that, but I do know a few of them. And like you said, the passion that's going to be in that room. I mean, you've got somebody like Lisa Shaw, who, wow, she just amazes me at every turn. And then like Nikki from the Sassy Subber, Lisa Potts. I mean, these people are incredible people that I've been able to meet over the years. So being able to be in the same room with them is pretty darn exciting.
Yes. Another thing that reminds me, we have our vendor panel, and that is a good time to meet several of them. Obviously, not all the vendors will be in there because some will be teaching, some will be at their booths. But if you want a wide variety, that would be a good place to do it. And you get donuts and coffee for free.
Yes.
Okay. What does this say? I can't see what it says. It's covered.
Sorry. Can you see it better that way?
Okay. So do we have any sublimation related events or offerings? Yes. So we do have sublimation classes. We actually have a couple of how to sublimate, and several of our vendors will be selling what you need to start a sublimation business. Yes. So come, you'll be able to, I believe we have a vendor who will be doing some demonstrations as well. So if you're interested in learning more or getting more supplies for that specifically, it's there. And that's in Aaron's wheelhouse too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you definitely have some sublimation people there. Like I mentioned, Nikki.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I'm a sublimation guy. So yeah, there's got to be a little bit of sublimation for me to show up.
Yeah. Yes, and it says everything embroidery market, but it's not just everything embroidery. It's all things garment decorating, sublimation, white toner printers, embroidery. There's the heat press vinyl. There's the laser engraver deals.
Yeah.
They're going to be there, and we want you to see the whole gamut of what you can do to offer decorating on any sort of garment. So if you're on the fence, do it. I promise. Even if it's just to take a class and then talk to the vendors, because you will learn stuff just by meeting people face to face and watching where people, okay, if you walk into a booth and you'll just hear someone say, oh, what is that for? And you're learning. Now, I encourage you not to just do that. I encourage you to ask questions and touch and feel. And that's why a trade show is so awesome, because you don't get that from a computer.
Exactly.
But everyone in that room is going to be excited, and just being there, you're going to learn something. Hopefully you'll make a ton of new friends that you can take home and, continue to learn from each other, build each other up. And yes, so we're excited. We're excited. I did not mention the dates, which I should have done. So the trade show is going to be at the Chattanooga Convention Center, April 28th through the 30th. So again, that's the Chattanooga Convention Center, April 28th through the 30th. Sign up at eemshows.com. We will have Aaron there teaching lots of awesome business classes and so much more. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to shoot them here in the chat. Send us an email at customersservice@eemshows.com or Facebook. We're always on there. We want to hear from you, and we are excited. So I forget anything? Hope, Aaron?
Nope,
I think we
not
did
for
well
my.
covered. And all of the links, if you need to get to them easily, are all on the
Chat.
chat.
Yep.
So
There you go.
easily clickable to get to you so that you can buy your tickets and sign up for your classes.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much, Aaron, for taking
Yeah.
some time out of your evening. I know sometimes it's hard to break away, and I really, really, really appreciate it. And Scooter, I hope to see you there. It's gonna be
Yeah, Scooter,
fun.
I'd love to meet you as well. So we'll see you there, Scooter. How about that?
All right. You guys have a wonderful night and sign up for those classes. Bye, y'all.
Awesome. Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Have a great night.
Bye.
Thanks.